2018. A time many people discarded as a bad year for movies when making their top 10 best films lists. Here, we're going to take a look back on 2018 and showcase some of the best action that came out of that year. No, we're not talking about the best action movies that came out of 2018, as that's a bit limiting, and it could be an entire video in itself. Instead, we're looking at the best action scenes the year saw on a technical and contextual level. So, even though the fight scenes in one film may pack a good surface level punch, another that we might highlight could work better for its creativity and narrative punch. Now, with that out of the way, let's take a look at some of the best action of 2018. Right off the bat, we have a movie where the sum of its parts are a bit better than the final product. Aquaman may not have impressed critics and fans alike, but one thing James Wan nailed was the action. It was hard to choose between the epic opening fight scene with Aquaman's mother Atlanta and the epic chase sequence that happens with Mera, Aquaman, and Black Manta. But ultimately, the dynamic rooftop chase won me over. Wan's camera work in these sequences is both creative and distinctive, and unlike anything I've ever seen. And although it may be James Wan's first appearance in the action sector of these videos, it sure won't be his last. Coming in at number 4 is the one-take action scene in the Commuter. At first glance, this looks like another generic Liam Neeson action flick that you'd find streaming somewhere. You probably wouldn't give it the time of day, and I wouldn't blame you for feeling that way. The movie overall isn't that impressive, but it's an entertaining watch, and there is one scene in particular that really stands out.
Turn around. Who's Bryn? I don't know. You're lying.
Don't be stupid. Stop.
Not until Bryn is dead.
I can't let you do that.
The fight is stitched together in a way that makes the action look as though it's all done in one take. And with a mixture of the close-quarter combat, the use of weaponry, and the utilization of the environment, the sequence makes for a thrillingly chaotic ride. This number 3 pick is a movie that still flies under many people's radars. Upgrade is a sci-fi action horror flick that is unexpectedly great in its execution, and solidified Leigh Whannell as a director to look out for. Also, a director we'll see return in this series. It was a strong toss-up between the final fight scene at the end of this film but ultimately, the kitchen knife fight had to take the crowning jewel.
Permission granted!
Thank you.
Okay, Stem, what are we doing, man?
Just relax.
God, dear! Oh, look, man, stay down, please. Please don't get up. Please don't get up. Please. Stay down, man. Just... Stem, he's got a knife! Stem!
I can see that. We have a knife too.
You stabbed him! You're trying to piss
Not only is this scene creatively brilliant for the way it utilizes its camera movements to flow with the action, but it's also brilliantly choreographed, and it hits so damn hard while you're watching the movie from the start. Leading up to this moment, there isn't a lot of action throughout the film, so when this scene explodes open the way that it does, the payoff is just so rewarding, especially if you're not expecting it. Coming in at number 2 is the bathroom fight from Mission Impossible Fallout. There are multiple action scenes in Fallout that could have been picked, and frankly almost were, especially scenes such as the rooftop chase. Or the helicopter scene. But for my money, I'm giving this one to the bathroom scene, as it's just so unexpected and really hardcore. Throughout the Mission Impossible series, there are rarely hand-to-hand combat scenes, and when there are, they only show a fraction of the brutality that this bathroom scene shows. Not only is it stylistically very cool in its white backdrop setting, but it's well-shot action with powerful sound design that drives every blow. It also has some brilliantly subtle comedy, mostly from Tom Cruise's expression, which is just the cherry on top. Before revealing my top pick, I'd like to shed some light on the honorable mentions, and for that, I'm going to pass this one over to Tanner.
And for our honorable mentions, we start the list with the final battle from Ready Player One.
First to the key!
Now, this is a battle that, all things considered, is pretty average, but you can't help but feel the excitement seeing all these characters from across all these franchises come together in one epic battle. We also want to bring up the Titan battle from Infinity War. This is a scene that combines all the unique powers of the characters in the MCU, with the standout being Doctor Strange fully unleashing the potential of his magic on Thanos. It also gives us another closer look at the ultimate power of the Infinity Gauntlet. And one more golden honorable mention, if you will, would be the Aunt May house fight from Into the Spider-Verse.
Nananito, dale.
Prepárate a morir.
Damn stupid pillow.
Now, this movie in general is animated to be like the comics, but this fight scene in particular shows just how it can translate the action from comics into a film scene. A lot of times, animated action doesn't get a lot of credit, but with the right directors, they can bring the same level of intensity into animation that you can with regular film. This has everything, with Miles realizing that it's his fault that the villains are there, to great stunts showcasing the powers of the villains and heroes, as well as a final emotional moment where Miles reveals himself to his uncle and then watches his uncle die right in front of him because he chose not to kill him. It's got the emotion, the fun, and something that you don't see in a lot of animated films.
While making this list, it felt as though the number one spot would be a toss-up between the last few. It wasn't until I rewatched the scenes that it became obvious to me that The Night Comes For Us had the best action scene of 2018. The action sequence plays out operatically. It crescendos in its violence and ultimately combusts. The camera work, the choreography, the use of weaponry, and the utilization of set are all perfected, making it one of the greatest action scenes of all time. If there are any action scenes from 2018 that we forgot to mention, feel free to let us know, as there are so many movies we want to watch. If you agreed with our picks, feel free to leave a like. And if you want to see more videos like this, be sure to subscribe, and don't miss out on all the content.